Hello to all of my patrons. I'm back again with another video. So I was thinking, what should I do for my patron video? Well, I thought I would talk about maybe some unknown things in regards to the Sunspot Observatory. Some very interesting things that perhaps may give us a bigger picture. Now you have to decide for yourselves, of course. All these things can be referenced and checked. I have all the links here. This video itself, which is by Blue Kool-Aid Oh Yeah, has all of the links in the comment section, so you can check all that out. This is a military site here from the Navy. And this individual looks at a lot of this, a lot of these videos in regards to the satellites, the sun, etc. And they caught up an interesting thing in regards to what had happened around the same time as the Solar Observatory was raided by the FBI. Now, what has piqued my interest about this entire affair is one thing. See, first of all, they had you've heard it, the Black Hawk helicopters. They evacuated people rapidly from the observatory so fast they even left their cars in the driveway there in the middle of the road. Okay, which looks like a half-open door on it, or at least the doors are a bit ajar. That denotes speed. You know, you all have to leave. You can't take anything with you. You can't take cell phones, whatever. You'll have to get on the bus. We're driving you out of the observatory right now. So that seems like what the scenario was to me. The Black Hawk helicopter, according to one of my subscribers, the comment section stated that that's really useful in recording, all kinds of wave signatures from below, listening to certain frequencies and waves from up high. Excuse me, I might have to get a drink of water in a moment. A lot of talking today. So those are the types of things which happened, which were very strange. Of course, the FBI is not working with the police department, as you're aware. The police department don't even know what's happening. In fact, I'm going to go into some quotes. But what piqued my interest is they closed down the post office. And then I said, there it is. They closed down the post office. Why would you close down the post office, which is at a different location? Because you don't want someone sending mail. Mail is an effective way of getting information out, out in forms of mail, etc. like that, when you don't have access to electronic equipment. Your phone has been seized, etc. It is a way of sending information there. So that really piqued my interest, because I said, what were they hiding? What kind of information was at the observatory which they didn't want getting out? Now, I don't know. Okay, you have to decide for yourselves, but take a look at this happening around the same time as the observatory was shut down. And just a shout out to this channel here, I'll just play about a minute of this and post the link in the comment section. I'll paste the main links in the comment section so you can follow what's happening here. Let's take a look. I'll be back in a minute.
Got you over at Sechi. This is the HI-1 satellite. This is from the 7th. What I'm showing you guys here, look at the time frame, the timestamp. Okay. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then it skips all the way to 7. So, we're missing 7 hours of data. Alright? Why that's important is because it does it on all of the satellites. If it was just something that was a technical thing, it would only be on one satellite most likely. Okay? But watch this. And again, the same time is missing. Alright? Okay, so where's my brain go next? Okay, this happened yesterday also. I'm not going to show you guys that, but you can trust me on it, or just go look at the 6th. This happened the exact same way on the 6th. All satellites was missing data.
So there you have it. All the satellites, which you can check via the link in the description here, right at that link. And that's what's so great about some researchers. They post the links so you can follow up on the research and decide for yourselves. Go in there, check to see if 7 hours was missing. In this case, this gentleman here found 7 hours missing from not just one, but multiple different measuring systems here. On the 6th, okay, and he's recording this video on the 7th. Okay, so that's the same day as the actual event happened here. In New Mexico at the National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico, and it was closed on Thursday the 6th. Now, of course, I'm referring to US dates here. If you are in a different part of the world, the dates will slightly be different. Isn't that a little breadcrumb there? They closed down the post office. The police and the sheriff's department don't know what's going on, have said so publicly. The FBI has made no statements. They rapidly removed everyone from the location, removed the only way you could transmit maybe large volumes of data, let's say, I don't know, a hard drive or something like that without couriering it, i.e. via car or things like that. You could send it via the post office very quickly. They removed that. They probably confiscated the cell phones. Now, I'm not saying they came up to everyone. In this kind of environment, what happened with the Black Hawk helicopters and FBI, I have no doubt that everyone had to give up their cell phones, okay? No doubt at all. But most likely how they did it is they said, you have to leave right now. You can't take any cell phones with you. Then they've got the location to themselves. They search everyone, put them on buses, ship them out to somewhere and say, wait here. And then when they're done looking at all the cell phones, all the electronic signatures via the Black Hawk helicopter, which can trace a lot of these things or pick up different communication mechanisms, radio signals, CB radios, whatever. That's apparently what it's really great at, apart from being involved in war zones. You search all of that, and then when you can't find the information, it's not there anymore because you've captured it all and it hasn't leaked out, you say I don't care about the location anymore. And that's exactly what happened. Remember, they don't care about the location now. There's no security officers on the gate. There's no one protecting it. There's no agents there in a black SUV stating, hold on, you can't come in here. And you can't bring that drone in here. There's no massive cordon off radius. We'll go into some of the more esoteric theories a bit later. So one of them is that the location was used to spy on a nearby Air Force base. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Well, let's just address that main one now, before we go into the other video clip I have here. The Chinese don't need to use some observatory, which by the way is below the ability to visually see an Air Force base, even if they turn the telescope, which makes no sense whatsoever. You don't use a telescope that's used for looking at the sun to look at an Air Force base, 40 miles, how many miles it is away, I don't know. You just don't do that. It's ridiculous. I don't know, but hey, maybe they were using some other mechanism. I shouldn't call it ridiculous. What do I know? I'm not an expert on these things. But what I'm saying is it doesn't seem logical to me why they would do that when they have spy satellites that can read what you're reading on planet Earth from space. I mean, they could read the number plate of a car back in the early 90s. So what have they got now? Well, they're probably recording everything in real time so they can play it back if they feel like it. That's the kind of level it is, and they can read what you're reading in your hands. Okay, there's some serious tech that the Chinese have, so they don't need to use a solar observatory in order to do that, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? Let's have a look at another clip here. This clip was, I guess, recorded by these individuals here. It's time-stamped. You got the email address here. You could contact the individual. This is a terrestrial-based observer, so to speak, with a telescope recording the sun, which seems to have picked up some strange objects. Again, this is from the 10th of September. So this was recorded before the actual 6th of September closing of the observatory itself. Let's take a look at some of the video. They see that strange thing to the side? They're slowing it down here. You can see that object. Something went into the sun. Or it looked like it did, I should say. They've slowed down the video, that's why it's doing that. It's coming out the other side. Here's a close-up. And it seems to have gone into the sun. Now, I don't know if that's going behind, obviously in front of the sun, because it's a hot object, but it's just unusual. It seems to have an entry point here. If this object's real, I mean, this object's so huge, it's bigger than the planet Earth, okay, in size if it's really going in there. But it seems something's gone into the actual sun itself. You can see a kind of splash here. That's why I'm saying it. So you can see the splash on the sides. So it doesn't seem to be something that's anomalous in front of the sun. You know, it could be like a bug. It seems to see something that's actually going into the sun itself. And here's it coming out of the other side of the sun. And this was recorded Friday, the 1st of September. What's going on? I mean, I have no idea. Again, these are just strange things that people have picked up. They always have picked up a number of unusual things. Here's another video, this time from the Daily Mail. NASA spacecraft captures moment the moon eclipses the sun twice in a matter of hours. So how do you eclipse the sun twice in a matter of hours? Is that possible? I don't know. It just seems weird for me to for the sun to eclipse the moon to eclipse the sun in a matter of hours. What the F is this? How is this possible? Please explain. The top comment here. I also want to know. I'm not a scientist, so I need it spelling out how the moon changed direction like that. So this person's saying it traveled in a loop and we are watching the end of the loop. Notice how it looks much closer in the downpass. Theory? How does it travel in a loop in less than 12 hours? It takes 24 hours for the Earth to rotate. So people are just not really understanding how is that possible. The Daily Mail says this happens in a matter of hours. What's a matter of hours? Like 5 hours. You know, people have, it looks like the moon. I mean, it's circular like the moon. But is it the moon? I mean, does the moon behave that way? We have to step back and realize that we're human beings on the planet and we've seen the moon all of our lives. Well, a lot of our lives we've seen the moon, and we've seen the sun as well, so we know innately how they behave. Since when does the moon eclipse the sun multiple times in a matter of hours? Okay? When does that happen? I don't know how it happens, but maybe a more scientific-minded patron can explain that to me. But again, this is the 11th of September. Now, of course, all this seems really strange, like there's an apocalypse or something. Now, I just want to state for the record, I've been covering this kinds of stuff for years, okay? And these things happen all the time. Very unusual things that are unexplainable. Okay, they happen here all the time. Every single day when I was covering Esoteric Detective. So I wouldn't go building the Doomsday Shelter just yet. But it is unusual, and there are some unusual things going on at the moment. But the fact is these do happen all the time. I do not like to frighten people, okay? Because here's the thing. When you walked outside today, or on the 6th, and you looked up at the sun, did anything seem unusual? Not really. Nothing seemed really unusual at all. Did the gravity of the planet seem weird? Not really. Was there massive solar arrays and auroras in the sky when you went outside? No. Okay, so you can spot things, so things get away with speeding up out of control. Now, in saying that, it is unusual. It's pretty unusual. As far as objects around the sun, these kinds of objects have been sighted all the time. So, again, just because they're coming a few days before this event is unusual. But what is interesting, really, to me, is that the missing hours from the video itself, 7 hours gone. Okay? This is puzzling to me. I don't understand what that is. Okay, I don't know what that means. Unless the Daily Mail is just saying that they've cut the video to make it look like the moon's coming up there and down there. I don't know what that is. Who knows what that means? Doesn't even make any sense. Since when does the moon eclipse the sun like multiple times in a day at different angles? course, scientists will explain that happens all the time to you and you have to believe them, right? I don't believe anything. Okay, I'm cynical. Okay, so this is what's interesting to me, because there is a trail of evidence here and it runs into something else. You see NASA. The SOHO imaging system here has an announcement, coming around the exact same time, stating, we have updated our code infrastructure that provides access to SOHO data. That is their telescope of the sun. Images and movies, they say, they're updating. We expect the work to take several weeks. So they're turning off. They're not updating anything. Now we know that there seems to be multiple different cameras that are down. Now sure, some of them are old. Some of them were always down, probably a year ago. It'd be very hard. We'd have to figure out when they went down. Did they go down at the same time? Of course, that is research. The point is that there are some that legitimately seem down. And this itself, NASA updating all of its things, seems a bit unusual to me. Okay, so that's pretty much all I've got for at least those main new aspects I wanted to talk about there. Hope you enjoyed them. I just want to refer to some other strange things here. Let's just take a look at some things here. I'll just get another link. We're back in a second. So here is another bit of an update. This is the actual, apparently, I always say apparently because I don't know what's happening in the mirror world. Look whose article it's in, Salon. It's around the net now anyway. But the Association of Universities of Research and Astronomy who manage this, etc., that Sunspot said they said they decided to vacate the facility, this time as precautionary measures. It was our decision to evacuate the facility. So here is the interesting thing. So here is the professor here. The professor of astronomy at New Mexico State University and the Sunspot Solar Observatory director. Now, is what they are saying true or false? I don't know. You just don't know in the mirror world anymore what's real. But all we can do is, this is new information, so let's read it out. There is nothing, states this professor who works at this observatory, we observed with a telescope that made us close anything. So there's nothing, he states, that observed that made them close anything. Nothing the telescope saw, Professor of Astronomy stated here. We did not see aliens. We did not see exoplanets. We did not see strange solar storms. He's stating, for the record, he goes on to state that he doesn't know why the FBI even raided the observatory. Well, the case might be the FBI have a different telescope system, or there's a military have a different telescope system, and they have been charting something for a long time. And they knew that if they didn't close it, these places would see whatever this was. They might have closed it for that. The FBI might have also closed it because there was some kind of experimental weaponry or something like that being tested. You know, that might cause a strange scenario to happen. Okay, so they closed it down for that reason, perhaps. Or, as the famous individual from Ancient Aliens says, which is one of my favorite shows, by the way, it could be aliens. Totally could be. Who really knows? Let's have a look at something else. I'm trying to bring you newer information today instead of just reiterating things that we've already talked about. So, of course, this was happening around the same time as all this. We've yet to see a massive solar storm, I guess. And by the way, a G2 level solar storm, etc., is quite large, but that's a moderate storm, as they state here, to a 5 level scale, with G5 being the highest. And that's what apparently could happen. So here is the sun, and there is apparently what looks like a massive hole in it. Now that's natural. I've seen that numerous times before in SOHO footage itself, whether and all these types of things. Which, by the way, I wouldn't trust NASA just because of their thing, right? I mean, you've got multiple different solar observatories so you just don't trust NASA because they say that's what they're seeing. You look at the video, corresponds to everyone else's example of what they're observing on the sun. But Science Alert saying here, 11th of September, there's a huge hole in our sun's corona, ! Trying to make it sound like it's the end of the world. you see them all the time. I've seen them multiple times, and I've been looking at this kind of stuff since 2015. It's a while. It's a few years at least. Aurora chasers, get your cameras ready. A huge hole has opened in the sun's corona, which means we're officially a geomagnetic storm watch with auroras incoming across a huge swath of North America. The question is, and the Earth gets hit by these solar storms all the time, what would be an interesting thing to note is, has there been changes to the magnetic sphere? That would be very interesting to note. Of course, I've talked about the weakening of the magnetic sphere and the South Atlantic anomaly as well. We'll have a trick. I'll have a quick Google a bit later. I'll post some more information on that. I'm still looking into those types of things. But could this mean a huge solar storm? Absolutely. Could mean a massive solar storm is coming. And what's that? Well, it'll knock out, it depends on the grid, right? I mean, most grids will have their transformers overloaded if it's a massive one. You can see examples of what happened in Canada. There's examples in the past of what happens when these huge geomagnetic storms hit, causes a lot of power systems to go down, etc., and things like that. But we haven't seen anything in the last few days. Okay, so this is from September the 11th. I don't know when they're predicting when this will happen. I don't believe it says anything here about predictions about when it might occur. But that is just pointing this out to show there is very strange things happening with the sun itself. Here is, of course, a good post here on Russia Today. This is where the Daily Mail Online happened. Where I got that link for that, and a lot of information here about what's happening at the Sunspot Observatory. Another good link here. But I'm going to post those main video links. Of course, you can find these all yourselves by looking through it. It's a very strange thing that's happening. Now, let's get to the fun part of the video. Let's go to the comment section. So here we are over at the comment section. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. Let's have a look through. 18 should be a 3. Just kidding. Can't remember what an 18 was. I never had a birthday cake or party. I'm a twin and had my son on my 21st birthday. So you never had a birthday cake or a party. Well, you have to correct that. Absolutely. I've only had one cake in my life, as I told you about. I don't know, some people have birthdays every year, don't they? And they get the cake and everyone comes along and everyone's really kind of happy and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. I never had one of those really since I was a young kid. I actually would be emotional if by the rainbow too. I would be emotional. This is the double rainbow, the classic double rainbow. Besides, I think there is more ozone or something. Oh wait, that's lightning. Well, it's rare for sure and live. It's HD clear. Actually would be more emotional if by that rainbow too. It was a very touching moment, and you could tell that he just was really filled in his heart, with seeing it. It's very, like when you see another person or can feel how joyous they are, happy, it makes you smile and you feel happy as well, Isn't that a great thing, Isn't that what we should be doing in the world? Of course, it's easier said than done. I tell you what, you have to see a double rainbow. I was driving one day and I saw a full triple rainbow. It was spiritual. Actually, he goes on to say it's a triple rainbow as well. Let's get the copy of that. I'll be back 1 second. So I didn't get the video of that guy saying triple rainbow, but here's someone else saying a triple rainbow. It's not as funny, but it's still,
A triple rainbow! Are you not seeing this? I am losing my mind here. It's next level.
Next level.
What, that thing?
Are you kidding me? A triple rainbow.
It's so uninspiring.
How are you not feeling this awesomeness that is around us right now? Come on.
I think maybe it's a bit of a put on that thing, but let's have a look here. I'll just go back to the comment section. Okay, back at the comment section here. So let's take a look at this. Here's Dog's Bollocks here. My quick thought on the hurricane. Let's take a look at this one.
here's the hurricane coming in.
Okay, so here's the video on the hurricane from Dog's Bollocks channel here, as you can see it down below. You can take a look at that. Let's have a look at the video itself.
We're back. Hey guys, I just want to make this quick little video about the hurricane, and just what I'm seeing is something that's just completely obvious. But look, here's the hurricane, and I'm sorry about the resolution about this video. This is as good as I can get it with my phone as far as I can tell. But here's the hurricane coming in North Carolina, right? Now look at all these little points of interest. See this? These are water vapor releases, like all throughout the different states in the country, right? But if you look at them, they definitely look, and I am going to make a claim here that I feel that these water vapor releases from all these different industries all over these states, because we know the corporations are interlinked, right? Well, I believe that these guys choreograph, they actually coordinate their efforts to release water vapor at certain intervals so that it can strengthen storms when they want to use these storms and manipulate them to cause damage on certain areas of territories. And I think that against the United States this has been happening, but it also has been happening in other areas of the world. If you look at over in Indonesia right now, they're getting hammered. No one's talking about that at all, are they? But I just wanted to show you this. This is actually from the government's Doppler radar site. It's NWS National Mosaic Radar Image Full Resolution Map.
Well, it's an interesting theory there. Never heard that one before, that that they're releasing water vapor all at the same time. I'm not sure what the effects would that be. I'll look into it. I will look at the rest of that video on my own time though, and of course everyone else can view that video. It's just in the comment section. Thank you for that video, Dog's Bollocks there. Miss Harvey Wallpaper from over at my website, of course, the Daily Rabbit Hole. It's nice to see you here. Let's have a look. Daily Rabbit Hole website brings up an error. Oh, I've already replied to this. Sorry, still working it out. Post properly on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, well, thank you to everyone that informed me of it being down, of course. It's always good to know if you can't reach it anyway, because I might be able to reach it on my end, but not on your end. So I've already replied to this here. Love the double rainbow video. That guy was immersed in the experience, Tina J states, which is inspiring to see. Did you know he turned down ads and commercial offers on that video because he wanted to keep it sacred? Wow, I didn't know that. But he seems like the kind of person that would be like that. He'd be like the best next door neighbor ever. It's like the kind of guy, he comes over for a cup of sugar and you say, hold on man, I've got a bag of sugar here. Don't worry about it. Get your cup. Have you got no sugar, man? Okay, get in the car. Let's drive. Go get you a bag of sugar. Right now, I don't have any in the cupboard. You know, it's just seems like such a nice person. I really do wish the best for him, and I hope I have been following his channel. He states on his channel he's quite overweight. So this millionaire approached him, saying, come stay at my millionaire house and swim in the pool. And he stayed there for like a month or something, I think, working out or something. But, you know, it's hard for a guy, I guess. He's a different type of guy, you know. He's like, he's a different type of person living up on the forest in a hill in Hawaii, looking at double rainbows. Maybe he's great like he is, you know. You just like wish the best for him. We need more people like that in the world. Have a blessed day yet. If the world was full of people like that, if we had, you know, enough of them, you probably would have no wars, you know. It's a different type of person. For your information, I'm getting errors when you go to your website. Yes, unfortunately that is the case. Of course, I actually replied to this on my own time here and just came in. Well, that's pretty much it anyway. That's all the comments there. Thank you all so much. And thank you to everyone that comments on my website as well. I do enjoy reading those out each day. I do get tired at the end of the day though, because I've put out like, I guess 40 minutes in the morning, then another 40 minutes in the comment section, and then we're going up to another 40 minutes now. So I think we're going to call that a day. and just thank you for your support. I hope that you enjoyed the video and it was something a bit new to you and you found it interesting. In the meantime, this is Ed from the Outer Light channel. Of course, go out, do your own research and decide for yourselves. Follow up on some leads if you want to research anymore. If you turn up anything, throw in the comment section of thedailyrabbithole.com and I'll read it out tomorrow. Excuse me. In the meantime, of course, tomorrow is tomorrow. Excuse me. No, tomorrow's not my day off. Tomorrow I'll be working, so have some more videos tomorrow, and then the day after, of course, will be my day off. So no Patreon video tomorrow, no Patreon video the day after, and then when I get back that day, I have another Patreon video. This time we'll go back into ancient archaeology. Okay, we're still at that video of the famous people from history. We've got to do that video. One of my patrons asked for that, so that is definitely something we are going to do. Definitely an interesting video that'll be. So maybe I'll do that one instead. We'll see how it goes. We fly by the seat of our pants around here, as the saying goes. So we'll see what happens. But no matter what you do, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later.